Sony Pictures as a company has had several marquee years over the last several years, in large part because the cultural entertainment products we make, movies, television shows, digital content, have embraced DEI. Miles Morales, the main character of the Spider-Verse franchise, the plot of The Woman King, the cast of Atypical, just to name a few, are all representative of the complexity and nuance of the world in which we live and the diversity of our consumers. Inclusive products are created by diverse teams, where unique perspectives are valued. So let's talk about how we foster diversity in our people and inclusion in our culture. When our DEI team was asked to speak at this session entitled Celebrating Diversity, a Company Success Story, we were certainly flattered, and I am excited to share with you some wins and learnings today. But before I do, I just want to say that as with any DEI journey, our progress isn't always linear, and we know that moments of success don't indicate perfection. This work truly is a journey, and it is constantly evolving and changing. It's our job as DEI professionals to stay nimble enough to respond quickly, but grounded enough to our strategy that we avoid being reactive. The foundation for our current DEI strategy at Sony Pictures was established by Paul Martin, our Chief Diversity Officer, when he joined the company 15 years ago. It was comprised of 3 focus areas: leadership, talent, and everyday inclusion. Leadership meaning ensuring that our leaders were displaying inclusive behaviors. Talent meant developing and investing in creative and corporate people. And everyday inclusion, embedding inclusive practices into our policies and processes. This vision for a truly inclusive culture for our employees, on and off-screen talent, the entertainment industry, and communities around the world positioned Sony Pictures to respond with a measured, sustainable, and united effort in the wake of George Floyd's murder in 2020. As we all mobilized in collective outrage, Sony launched a $100 million global social justice fund. Leveraging this infusion of funding, every Sony Group company built a unique approach to tackle racial equity and social justice. In that moment, Sony Pictures launched Sony Pictures Action, which was a coordinated global effort that galvanized over 100 employees to participate in regional subcommittees, an action council that was comprised of high-level leaders across our business that provides oversight, and the executive sponsorship of our CEO, Tony Vinciquerra, and our Chief People Officer, Stacey Green, and the rest of the senior leadership team. Sony Pictures Action launched over 50 initiatives in the first year and an updated strategy to meet the current environment, which includes 4 pillars: our people, our content, our partners, and our community. Our people pillar focuses on employees, potential candidates, and the whole Sony Pictures community. Our content pillar focuses on the stories we tell and the audiences we inspire. Our partners pillar enhances industry partnerships that foster inclusion. And our community pillar invests in organizations serving underserved or underrepresented groups. To help you better understand the kind of work that these pillars translate into, I thought I would share a few examples. DEI teams can't possibly be subject matters on every community. I feel like we've talked about this several times today. It is essential to have a network of partners to be truly inclusive. Under our people pillar, we offer programs that pipeline current employees and external talent from underrepresented backgrounds into both corporate and creative roles across our business. Our emerging talent programs are tailored to people who are either early in their careers or looking to make some kind of career pivot. We have 3 programs in this space: interns, trainees, and rotational associates. In order to ensure that we are truly providing opportunities to people with diverse backgrounds into roles that they might not have otherwise have access to. As you can see, we partner with a variety of organizations, ensuring that we are inclusive of folks with disabilities, different ethnic backgrounds, gender identity, veteran status, and several other communities. We have seen great success in converting people who come through these programs into full-time roles within the Sony ecosystem. Inclusive hiring requires awareness of bias in the process and partnership with the business to create equitable opportunities. Adding thought partnership and sourcing expertise from external partners can enhance that experience for everybody involved. As we all know people who are exceptionally talented but maybe haven't quite gotten their big break because of systemic barriers. Breaking down those barriers requires providing support and infrastructure that allows those people to thrive. As an entertainment company, our content can make the broadest and arguably most profound impact through the stories we share and the people who tell and represent those stories. One of our most successful programs over the last few years has been the LENS program, which stands for Leading and Empowering New Storytellers. The animation industry overall tends to lack diversity. There are several reasons for that, including the schools that they source talent from, the cost of an animation education, the insular nature of the business. So to overcome these issues, we partnered with Sony Pictures Animation and Sony Pictures ImageWorks to launch LENS. We sourced high potential people from diverse backgrounds to receive mentorship and training. These individuals were tasked with using the Spider-Verse IP, so that was definitely fun, to make an animated short in order to give them the experience and support that they would need to grow into leadership roles and advance in their careers. The short film that this team created was, to use one word, sensational. They leaned into the horror genre and they told the story of Miles Morales as if he was suffering from anxiety. The mental health theme was so timely and the short was so masterfully created that really at this point it's taken on a life of its own. The short has now been to several film festivals and is at the center of a national partnership that will be revealed in the coming months. But more importantly, every person who participated in that program is now staffed on a film or television project, has the attention of our highest level leadership, and is excelling in their career. My experience with this program has taught me just how valuable a platform and some support can be in making underrepresented voices heard. Like many other industries, folks in entertainment tend to go back to the same suppliers and vendors that they've been using for many years, instead of looking into who might be new to the marketplace or have a unique perspective or value proposition. Most of us have that familiarity bias. But there are advantages that can be gained from reevaluating supplier relationships regularly and prioritizing working with diverse suppliers when it's possible. Sony Pictures has been committed to supplier diversity, otherwise known as responsible sourcing, for many years. However, the work under the partners pillar of our strategy has increased visibility and impact across the organization. This year, the team hosted the second annual Responsible Sourcing Expo, inviting diverse vendors, employees, executives, and representatives from other companies to attend an event at the Studio Lawn in Culver City. So it was an opportunity for vendors to get exposure for their businesses, for employees to learn about suppliers outside of the usual go-tos, and for people across the industry to meet and learn from each other. I love this event because it demonstrates the power of collaboration and the value that comes with getting outside of our silos and our comfort zones. Accessibility inclusion is an element of DEI that often gets overlooked, but we are committed to improving accessibility for both visible and for people with both visible and invisible disabilities. One of our strategies is building accessibility for our business is investing in community partnerships. One example is the partnership that we have with Easter Seals. They are leading the way to full equity, inclusion, and access through disability and community services. Most recently, we hosted the 10th anniversary of the Easter Seals Disability Film Challenge. This is an opportunity for filmmakers to collaborate and tell unique stories that showcase disability in all of its many forms. Additionally, Sony Pictures partnered with Easter Seals to build a first-of-its-kind voiceover loop group comprised of people with disabilities. So if any of you aren't familiar, a loop group is formed when voiceover actors record background sound in post-production, and then they bring the voice of the background actors to life in that moment after the film has already been shot or created. This is a really new initiative. It hasn't even gotten to the press yet, but I wanted to share about it because it is really an innovative outcome that came out of our relationship with a trusted partner and brings value to our business, the rest of the industry, and the people that Easter Seals serves. So while these are just a few examples of the programming initiatives and partnerships that we've invested in over the last few years, they each offer a lesson that I think can translate into a variety of different industries, companies, and relationships. First, investing in partnerships with trusted subject matter experts can be incredibly powerful. Whether you're looking for talent, thought leadership, or new vendors to work with, finding people externally who complement your internal superpowers creates value in all directions. Second, intentional support can foster the most impactful opportunities and authentic storytelling. In our own ways, we can all commit to breaking down barriers that prevent talented people from achieving their goals. And third, building community is the key to pretty much any kind of success. When we work together, we can make magic happen. Thank you again so much for inviting me to speak with you all today. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thanks so much, Laura.